Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. In today's video, we are going to dive deeper into the fascinating world of the Indus Valley Civilization. If you enjoyed our previous episode, you'll be thrilled to know that we have prepared an exciting part 2 that will unveil even more mysteries and wonders from this ancient civilization. Language, scripts, weights, and measures. The maintenance of so extensive a set of relations as those implicit in the size and uniformity of the Harappan state and the extent of trade contacts must have called for a well-developed means of communication. The Harappan script has long defied attempts to read it, and therefore the language remains unknown. Relatively recent analyses of the order of the signs on the inscriptions have led several scholars to the view that the language is not of the Indo-European family, nor is it close to Sumerian, Hurrian, or Elamite. If it is related to any modern language family, it appears to be the Dravidian, presently spoken throughout the southern part of the Indian peninsula. An isolated member of this group, the Brahwi language, is spoken in western Pakistan, an area closer to those regions of Harappan culture. The script, which was written from right to left, is known from the 2,000-odd short inscriptions so far recovered, ranging from single characters to inscriptions of about 20 characters. There are more than 500 signs, many appearing to be compounds of two or more other signs, but it is not yet clear whether these signs are ideographic, logographic, or other. Numerous studies of the inscriptions have been made during the past decades, including those by a Russian team under Yuri Valentinovich Norizov and a Finnish group led by Asko Parpala. Despite various claims to have read the script, there is still no general agreement. The Harappans also employed regular systems of weights and measures. An early analysis of a fair number of the well-formed chert cuboid weights suggested that they followed a binary system for the lower denominations, 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, and a decimal system for the larger weights, 160, 200, 320, 640, 1600, 3200, 6400, 8000, and 12800. With the unit of weight being calculated as 0.8565 gram, 0.0302 ounces. However, a more recent analysis, which included additional weights from the small settlement excavated at Lothal, suggests a rather different system, with weights belonging to two series. In both series the underlying principle was decimal, with each decimal number multiplied and divided by 2, giving the main series ratios of 0.05, 0.1, 0.2, 0.5, 1, 2, 5, 10, 20, 50, 100, 200, 500. This suggests that there is still much work to be done to understand the full complexity of the weight system. Several scales of measurement were found in the excavations. One was a decimal scale of 1.32 inches 3.35 centimeters, rising probably to 13.2 inches 33.5 centimeters apparently corresponding to the foot that was widespread in Western Asia. Another is a bronze rod marked in lengths of 0.367 inch, 0.93 centimeters, apparently half a digit of a cubit of 20.7 inches, 52.6 centimeters, also widespread in Western Asia and Egypt. Measurements from some of the structures show that these units were accurately applied in practice. It has also been suggested that certain curious objects may have been accurately made optical squares with which surveyors might offset right angles. Given the accuracy of so much of the architectural work, this theory appears quite plausible. Trade and external contacts. It has been seen above that the area covered by the Indus civilization had a remarkably uniform level of material culture. This suggests a closely knit and integrated administration and implies internal trade within the state. Evidence of the actual exportation of objects is not always easy to find, but the wide diffusion of chert blades made of the characteristic sucker stone and the enormous scale of the factory at the sucker site strongly suggest a trade. Other items also appear to indicate trade, such as the almost identical bronze carts discovered at Chanhudaro and Harappa, for which a common origin must be postulated. The wide range of crafts and special materials employed must also have caused the establishment of economic relations with people living outside the Harappan state. Such trade may be considered to be of two kinds: first, the obtaining of raw materials and other goods from the village communities or forest tribes in regions adjoining the Indus culture area, and second, trade with the cities and empires of Mesopotamia. There is ample indication of the former type, even if the regions from which specific materials were derived are not easy to pinpoint. Gold was almost certainly imported from the group of settlements that sprang up in the vicinity of the gold fields of northern Karnataka, and copper could have come from several sources, principally from Rajasthan. Lead may have come from Rajasthan or elsewhere in India. Lapis lazuli was probably imported from Iran rather than directly from the mines at Badakhshan, and turquoise probably also came from Iran. Among others were fuchsite, a chromium-rich variety of muscovite, from Karnataka, alabaster from Iran, amethyst from Maharashtra, and jade from Central Asia. There is little evidence of what the Harappans gave in exchange for these materials, possibly non-durable goods such as cotton textiles and probably various types of beads. They may have also bartered tools or weapons of copper. For the trade with Mesopotamia, there is both literary and archaeological evidence. The Harappan seals were used to seal bundles of merchandise, as clay seal impressions with cord or sack marks on the reverse side testify. The presence of several Indus seals at Ur and other Mesopotamian cities and the discovery of a Persian Gulf type of seal at Lathau, otherwise known from the Persian Gulf ports of Dilmun, present-day Bahrain, and Failaka, as well as from Mesopotamia, provide a convincing indication of sea trade with other civilizations. Timber and precious woods, ivory, lapis lazuli, gold, and luxury goods such as carnelian beads, pearls, and shell and bone inlays, including the distinctly Indian kidney shape, were among the goods sent to Mesopotamia in exchange for silver, tin, woolen textiles, and grains and other foods. Copper ingots appear to have been imported to Lathau from a place known as Magan, possibly in present-day Oman. Other probable trade items include products originating exclusively in each respective region, such as bitumen, occurring naturally in Mesopotamia, and cotton textiles and chickens, major products of the Indus region not native to Mesopotamia. Mesopotamian trade documents, lists of goods, and official inscriptions mentioning Meluha, the ancient Akkadian name for the Indus region, supplement Harappan seals and archaeological finds. Literary references to Meluhan trade date from the Akkadian, UR3, and Isan-Larsa periods, i.e., circa 2350 to 1794 BCE, but, as texts and archaeological data indicate, the trade probably started in the early dynastic period, circa 2600 BCE. During the Akkadian period, Meluhan vessels sailed directly to Mesopotamian ports. But by the Isan-Larsa period, Dilmun was the entrepot for Meluhan and Mesopotamian traders. By the subsequent Old Babylonian period, trade between the two cultures had ceased entirely. The decline of the urban system and the end of the Indus civilization. How and when the civilization came to an end remains uncertain, and no uniform ending needs to be postulated for a culture so widely distributed. The decline probably occurred in several stages, perhaps over a century or more. The period between about 2000 and 1750 BCE is a reasonable estimation. The collapse of the urban system does not necessarily imply a complete breakdown in the lifestyle of the population in all parts of the Indus region, but it seems to have involved the end of whatever system of social and political control had preceded it. After that date the cities, as such, and many of their distinctively urban traits, the use of writing and seals and a number of the specialized urban crafts, disappear. The end of Mohenjo-Daro is known, however, and was dramatic and sudden. Mohenjo-Daro was attacked toward the middle of the second millennium BCE by raiders who swept over the city and then passed on, leaving the dead lying where they fell. Who the attackers were is a matter of conjecture. The episode would appear to be consistent in time and place with the earlier invaders from the north, believed to be Indo-European speakers, into the Indus region as reflected in the older books of the Rigveda, in which the newcomers are represented as attacking the walled cities, or citadels, of the aboriginal peoples and the invaders war god Indra as rending forts as age consumes a garment. However, one thing is clear, the city was already in an advanced stage of economic and social decline before it received the coup de grace. Deep floods had more than once submerged large tracts of it. Houses had become increasingly shoddy in construction and showed signs of overcrowding. The final blow seems to have been sudden, but the city was already dying. As the evidence stands, the civilization was succeeded in the Indus Valley by poverty-stricken cultures, deriving a little from a sub-Indus heritage but also drawing elements from the direction of Iran and the Caucasus, from the general direction, in fact, of the northern invasions. For many centuries urban civilization was dead in the northwest of the Indian subcontinent. In the south, however, in Kathiawar and beyond, the situation appears to have been very different. There it would seem that there was a real cultural continuity between the late Indus phase and the Copper Age cultures that characterized central and western India between 1700 and the first millennium BCE. Those cultures form a material bridge between the end of the Indus civilization proper and the developed Iron Age civilization that arose in India about 1000 BCE. And with that, we conclude our enthralling expedition into the Indus Valley Civilization. From the grandeur of Mohenjo-Daro to the intriguing demise of this advanced society, we've uncovered astonishing tales and insights. If you were as fascinated as we were, don't forget to like this video and hit that subscribe button for more thrilling historical explorations. Until next time, keep exploring the past and shaping the future.